take place as it makes all of these other heavier elements in the center of the stars. And when the star goes nova, it blows that stuff everywhere, and then it coalesces, you know, like into planets around other stars. You know, so the planets are made out of older stars.
Have they seen these explosions? Because I don't really necessarily believe in this. Have they seen explosions?
Well, the water's like, you know, like there is a lot of commentary stuff, and a lot of it, you know, like it made the original formation, you know, it was there, but, you know, things are very hot.
What formation? You talking about the Big Bang kind of theories that depend on the Big Bang? I don't believe in any Big Bang, okay?
Well,
So can you tell me, can you explain it in terms of like without a Big Bang? Because there's absolutely no evidence of a Big Bang.
Yeah, there is. The evidence that decided people on
It's what evidence you wanna propose from
background radiation.
Background radiation.
Far away. What?
Background radiation.
Yeah.
Is evidence of a
From
Big Bang?
beyond the galaxies. You know, beyond 13 billion years.
I just think that's very far-fetched to say
Beyond
that's
13 billion light years.
that has to come from a Big Bang.
Well,
You have to really explain it like with
yeah,
total,
well, there was one that was
irrefutable
a steady-state
logic.
universe, and they figured that if that theory was correct, then we wouldn't have this background radiation. But then they, you know, found the background radiation, so they decided that meant that there was Big Bang. So it's very, very indirect. You know, like the evidence for the Big Bang is extremely indirect. So not believing
there you
it
go.
is just fine.
That's why I don't
You know,
believe in it.
but-
You know why? And I'll give you another
It's a
thing that
creation theory.
I'll give
You
you.
could at least give it that.
Oh, don't use the word creation with them because they don't.
Oh, I know they don't
Okay.
like it when I say that. I
Okay.
say, well, at least it's a creation theory.
Nobody
They
nobody
turn
created nothing. It was the atoms that just did it out of coincidence.
I know they just.
There was no creation.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, it was
All right.
created out of energy, apparently.
Now hold on a second. I'm just going to say one sentence. There's as much evidence for expansion as contraction. So how do you reconcile that with the Big Bang theory?
Well, it's not only expanding, but it's accelerating in its expansion. Nobody
Okay,
can
now
figure
you
it
get to
out. And
yeah,
some of the stars
acceleration.
are older than they figured the universe is.
So acceleration
Now, how can you have
wait,
stars that are older than
the theory of
universe that
relativity also, time is relative. So how do you know anything's accelerating or decelerating? It's just relative. There ain't no such thing.
Mary that believes in flying saucers.
Time doesn't really exist now, does it?
Huh? Sure.
If you go,
There's time.
there is time.
That's time. And you can count it if you want.
That's the illusion of motion.
Time and rate.
If you watch
distance.
long enough,
Space and time
you
are
watch
related
long
to one
enough, it's
another.
always in the same spot.
Space
it's
and
not
time
really
are related
moving.
to one another because it's a balance equation. It's like E is equal to IR, you know, like it's like Ohm's law. You know, distance, rate, and time are the same thing. It's all one thing. And it's all, you know, like the idea of measuring distance and the idea of measuring time is, you know, you're measuring from one moment to another, from one event to another, and that's time.
Okay,
You're measuring
granted,
from one
granted.
post, you know, like one object to another,
As
and
far as
that's
the atom's concerned and the rest of the universe is concerned, there's really no difference between this way and that way. Like, we have this illusion that time is moving forward in this direction, but it's not moving at all, really. We just have this illusion.
no, it's just getting later.
Motion is also relative. It's all relative according to,
It's just getting later.
know, how do you map it out?
And after a while, you know, like it's not going to be much light.
The physicists, when they're figuring out how molecules became molecules, the math works exactly the same way in the opposite direction. It all looks the same. And it doesn't matter how it happened or what happened.
Oh yeah, in a mathematical sense. you
Everything
know.
just reacts to everything else, but there has to be a consciousness, see? To really figure out, when you look at phenomenon, there needs to be a consciousness. So that's a supreme being.
Here we go.
That's a supreme being
Well,
that is moving everything.
it does.
It's an
does
absolute
seem to me-
mover.
It does seem to me that if I'm conscious,
Come on
then
now.
everything else must be too.
Come on now, how can we ask these questions if there wasn't the question derived from the ultimate knower and questioner of things? That there is no way to separate matter from thought, ultimately. So therefore, when you see anything either appearing to move or time, time, our sense of time is dependent on motion, but the motion you see that's going on is because we think about it.
Yeah.
And there's got
it's
to
the
be
number
a
of motion.
supreme thing that we're derived from. The reason why we move and think. See, motion, us moving is not superior. It's thinking.
The scientists are trying to quantize that. They want to find the carrier particle, right?
But you see, a scientist, the reason why they're wrong is because they don't think that they exist